ਜੈਤਸਰੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪੰਜਵਾਂ। ਘਰ ਤੀਜਾ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਕੋਈ ਜਾਣੈ ਕਵਨ ਇਹਾ ਜਗ ਮੀਤ। ਜਿਸ ਹੋਏ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਸੋਈ ਬਿਦ ਬੂਝੈ। ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਰੀਤ। ਰਹਾਉ। ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਬਨਤਾ ਸੁਤ ਬੰਦਪ। ਇਸ਼ਟ ਮੀਤ ਅਰ ਭਾਈ। ਪੂਰਬ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਮਿਲੇ ਸੰਜੋਗੀ। ਅੰਤ ਹੈ ਕੋ ਨ ਸਹਾਈ। ਮੁਕਤ ਮਾਲ ਕਨਕ ਲਾਲ ਹੀਰਾ। ਮਨਰੰਜਨ ਕੀ ਮਾਇਆ। ਹਾ ਕਰਤ ਬਿਹਾਨੀ ਅਵਧੈ। ਤਾ ਮਹਿ ਸੰਤੋਖ ਨ ਪਾਇਆ। ਹਸਤ ਰਥ ਅਸਵ ਪਵਨ ਤੇਜ ਧਨੀ। ਭੂਮਨ ਚਤੁਰਾਂਗਾ। ਸੰਗ ਨ ਚਾਲਿਓ ਇਨ ਮੈਂ ਕਛੁਐ। ਉਠ ਸਿਧਾਇਓ ਨਾਂਗਾ। ਹਰ ਕੇ ਸੰਤ ਪ੍ਰਿਯ ਪ੍ਰੀਤਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੇ। ਤਾਂ ਕੇ ਹਰ ਹਰ ਗਾਈਐ। ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹਾ ਸੁਖ ਆਗੇ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲ। ਸੰਗ ਸੰਤਨ ਕੈ ਪਾਈਐ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. I just recited to you a sabad composed by the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan, in the rag Jaitsari. So we have transitioning now from the fourth Nanak to the fifth within the rag Jaitsari. And it begins with Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad, an abbreviated version of the Mool Mantra. And you're all familiar with it. This is the ground of oneness. Expression comes through the Satgur. And that is the knowledge principle. It is the grace of this knowledge principle that gives us insight into this oneness. And now, the English rendering of this sabad. Koi Janai Kavan Iha Jag. Who truly knows? Who here in this world is a true friend? Who knows that? The one to whom grace comes, that one attunes to the way, and their manner of living becomes pure. Jis hoye kripal soi bid bujhe. Only they know. Bujhe, they can discern those who walk on the path that is nirmal, the path of the Guru, without the ego. Mother, father, spouse, child, relatives, beloved companions, friends and siblings. Mata pita banta sut bandap ishtamit arpai. These are all associations that came about through fortunate conjunction of previous circumstances, through some fortuitous circumstance. All of this came about. Purab janam ke mile sanjogi. Yet, at the final moment, not one of them stands with you. Ant hai ko na sahai. Pearls, that is to say jewels, garlands, gold, rubies and diamonds. The Guru is listing out all of these things that we are attached to. All of this. These are all the delight of Maya, but they distract the mind. Mal kanik laal hira manaranjan ki Maya. This is just entertainment for the mind. And what do? Ha kart behani avada. We cry out for more and more. And when the appointed time comes, we have not found contentment. Ta meh santokh na paya. He doesn't stop here. He goes on to say, what about elephants, chariots, horses swift as the wind, land, and the full display of worldly power? What then? Not one of these, he says, will travel with you. Sang na chaleo inme kashue. Utta sidayo nanga. You depart naked as you arrive. But now he speaks of the Jan, the seekers, the beloved, intimate companions of Har. In other words, those who are living in that ever-inspiring vitality called Har consciousness. Har ke sant pre pritam. They are beloved companions of the Lord. So in other words, it is the Har that is your companion. And it is found in the company of the Gur. Nanak iha sukh aage mukh ujjal sang santan ke paiya. So that wisdom, that is your only companion. So Guruji is asking a question that is very fundamental. Who, he says, is a true friend in this world? Now he's not being cynical. He's not being bitter. He's not someone who feels betrayed, but he's honestly posing a question that is really saying, when he says, who is your friend? What he is saying is, what exactly are you leaning on? Because whatever it is that you're leaning on is very fleeting. The answer is provided by the Guru himself, very methodically, but he doesn't soften the answer. He presents it as it needs to be seen. What he's saying is that everything that you love, mother, father, your siblings, your children, every relationship that you have built your life around, it came about through some fortunate conjugation of conditions, sanjogi. And yet, they are conditional. They came about through some circumstance, and they will unravel through some conditional. The final moment is that condition, the circumstance. So you see where the Guru is going with this question. And so in the next two verses, he actually extends this recognition. From relationships, he moves on to possessions and then to power. He talks about pearls, he talks about status, he provides you with a full inventory of what our minds reach out for. And yet, the cry of craving never ceases. Ha ha. And then, at the appointed time, when one's lifespan has been spent, what happens then? One dies, one is carried away without a sense of contentment. He's not saying that these things are not to be used, or that you're not supposed to live in relationships, or that you shouldn't have a fondness for jewelry. All of this is not the point. This is not the point. What he's saying is that these things cannot be depended on at the deepest level, because their nature is conditional, and they will not provide an answer to that question, who is my true friend? And then, who is the true friend? Har ke sant. Har ke sant. It is the Guru who is the true friend, because it brings you the wisdom of Naam. It shows you who the true companion is, which is the wisdom. So the answer, he says, is grace. To whom this grace comes will recognize who the companion is. So build your life based on a solid foundation. And the solid foundation is the wisdom of Naam. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.